Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining the Inside Upwork series with the Ambassador team. My name is Tatiana Mazarchuk, Business Partner International Marketing with Upwork. I manage the programs that support talent retention, development, and community building. I will host today's session together with three representatives of the Upwork Ambassador Program team. Let me give you some background about the programs. We launched the Upwork Ambassador Program to support talent on Upwork in starting and growing their freelance businesses by hosting local and virtual events. Our goal with these events is to provide resources to new and experienced freelancers, provide them with the platform to meet and exchange ideas with like-minded people, and inspire them to take the next step in their freelance careers. Upwork Ambassadors host various events. They host hands-on webinars on the specialized topics to inspire attendees and support them to polish their Upwork profiles, write killer proposals, set their rates. Ambassadors also host virtual expert talks where we invite top talent and industry leaders to share their expertise and insights on the different peculiarities of running and scaling an online business. And finally, the team organizes social meetups to establish the community by giving local talent the opportunity to connect. So basically, the ambassadors walk our customers through their growth life cycle on the Upwork marketplace. So for example, this could be how to faster convert from the rising talent to top-rated status. At the moment, the ambassador program operates in several places around the world. And I would like to introduce you to some of our Upwork ambassadors who are joining me today. I'd like to welcome Neil Strauss, Upwork Ambassador in Philadelphia, the United States, Catalin Modorcha, Upwork Ambassador in Bucharest, Romania, and Avery, Upwork Ambassador in Manila, in the Philippines. Welcome, team. Let us start with the background. Tell us about your professional background. When and why did you become an Upwork Ambassador?
Hi, my name is Neil Strauss. I'm a top-rated B2B social media strategist who has been freelancing full-time for 4 years. Early on, I realized I missed the community of working with others and began looking for different types of professional and social communities. I found the Upwork Ambassador role to be the best way to create the community I wanted while helping other freelancers succeed.
All right, well, thanks for the introduction, Tatiana. I've been a freelancer ever since I started working in digital marketing 7 years ago. I've enjoyed going to Upwork events both as an attendee and as a guest speaker long before the opportunity arose for me to become the next Upwork ambassador in my country. Except for a 1-year pause in which I tried the employment route, I've always been a freelancer. I thoroughly enjoy advocating for this career path. And when the opportunity arose for me to become the next Upwork ambassador, I was very excited about being able to help our local community of freelancers in Romania.
So hi, I'm Avery. As for me, I specialize in community education, learning, development, and engagement. So I've been part of the Upwork community team for 5 years and the ambassador team for 3. I took on the role of ambassador because not only does it complement my role as a member of the community team, but I also enjoy meeting new people and establishing relationships.
In my role, my main focus is developing and supporting the initiatives so talent are able to live their lives without limits, build effective processes to maximize their potential, and to build business opportunities on Upwork. What do you like in your ambassador role?
So let me start. What has drawn me to the ambassador role is I actually fell in love with community education, inspiring people to move, and helping people to be better versions of themselves. So the workshops and events we host have the same goal. And knowing that I'm part of a freelancer's journey to success makes me happy. It's like a true testament that there's value in what we do as a team and as individual ambassadors in our own communities.
Yeah, and for me, because I spend a lot of time around co-working hubs, I've been able to have a lot of in-person interactions with freelancers over the years, during and also outside of Upwork events and online communities. I hear quite a bit about what freelancers are proud of related to the way they work, as well as what their struggles are. My favorite feedback to hear is when somebody tells me they've applied a tip or a best practice we discussed in one of our events, and it helped them in their freelancing career. For some people, this meant winning over new clients more easily. For other people, it meant raising the rates with existing clients. And for other people, it meant improving their work-life balance. This is what the role is all about for me. The more people we can help with those kinds of objectives, the better I will feel about my involvement.
And lastly, for me, I love helping people and am passionate about helping other freelancers succeed. This role gives me the opportunity to work with freelancers from different backgrounds and cities. I'm incredibly proud of the successful freelance business I've built, and helping other freelancers keeps that passion alive.
You are representing different geographies, and it will be interesting to get to know a little bit more about your markets. Do you see any distinctive features of your market?
Yes, I think that Romania as a country is very well positioned in this market. Our economy is not as strong as that of highly developed Western countries, but our workforce is very skilled, especially when it comes to digital services. And being anywhere from fluent in English to bilingual is actually quite common here. So the economic aspect means that people have lower living costs. So Romanians can afford to charge less than freelancers in other regions where the cost of living are much higher, but they still provide a very high level of skill in their work. I've often heard from people that I've worked with over the years that they enjoy working with people in Romania because they're good communicators and they get their work done properly.
And for freelancers in Philadelphia and the US, they're looking for more than a way to earn money. They're looking to enjoy the brands, the teams, and the people that they work with. Since many freelancers are a team of one, they look to other freelancers to be their community.
So that's really interesting. For me, in my market, the Philippines, we have a variety of freelancers whose skills range from admin support, customer service, online sales and marketing, design and creative, accounting and consulting, web, mobile, and software development, and data science and analytics. So I just actually mentioned all the categories of Upwork. But every time we hold local events, there's always a mix of freelancers from these industries. And what's nice about this diversity is that it's very common for freelancers here to create their own support groups. So there's an abundance of groups online whose goals are to support freelancers and their business and just connect and have a human interaction, even if it's just online.
Interesting. Tell us how you are developing the talent community in your countries. What kind of events are you hosting? How does the community respond to it?
It's a great question, Tatiana. Beginners are often looking for help with the basics. How do I land my first job or project? How do I raise my rate, etc. While experienced freelancers are looking for insights into how to land great clients, how can they upskill to better serve their clients, and how to better manage their client relationships. We build our events with these goals in mind. While webinars may work for the new freelancers, experienced freelancers crave knowledge from experienced freelancers. The expert talks are our way of filling that need, bringing in experienced freelancers to talk about how they improved and continually optimize their freelance business.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I really like about the Ambassador program is our focus groups. They give us an opportunity to really dig deep and figure out exactly what local freelancers are struggling with at any point throughout the year. And feedback from freelancers is the primary factor determining my recommendations for which subjects we should cover and what types of events to host next locally. The educational aspect of our events gives people new things to try and improve through, while the socializing and discussions with other freelancers empower them to take action sooner, more frequently, and to be more active.
So I think mine is slightly different. What I like about the events our team hosts is we don't only host informative and educational and offline events, but we also know how to have fun. So a lot of rising talent freelancers and newly awarded top-rated freelancers appreciate our educational events. That's a given. But longtime veterans are always excited to attend events where we invite other freelancers to share their expertise in different fields. And of course, if not all the freelancers in the PH community want to be part of the social events where we have games, or sometimes we also do karaoke. So this gives them an opportunity to get to know other freelancers and expand their network, whether in person or more recently virtually.
Well, you are meeting freelance professionals on the everyday basis. Let us discuss a little bit, what do you think is important when running a freelance business?
I think that soft skills are extremely valuable to freelancers. It's a given that you have to be really good at what you do. But when clients have access to a global pool of talent, a lot of freelancers are highly skilled. So to be really successful as a freelancer, you have to know how to position yourself as an expert, how to highlight your most relevant skills, how to negotiate, how to communicate effectively. Freelancing really is a business, and it pays to think of it that way, to brand your service with your ideal client in mind, and to make sure you have the soft skills to sell it when you get on that first call.
So as for me, when running a freelance business, I think it's important that you focus on growing your skills and expertise versus being a jack of all trades. A lot of freelancers understand that claiming to be skilled in different industries doesn't reflect that you're actually an expert. So freelancers understand the value of focusing on your skills and expertise, reskilling and upskilling to adapt to changing market demands. So usually when freelancers upskill, it's a skill that complements their current skills and experience.
Absolutely, Avery. I have to agree with you. Upskilling or continually reskilling and refocusing one's niche, the best freelancers are looking for a long-term career, something they will still find fulfilling in 10, 20, maybe even 30 years. This leads to more freelancers improving the way they work and who they work with.
If you could go back to earlier in your career, what piece of advice would you give yourself as a freelancer to kickstart quickly?
Interesting question. I think I'd say be completely comfortable with saying no. I took on several projects that weren't right for me because I was afraid of saying no. The clients and projects weren't necessarily bad, but we were not the best fit for one another. Saying no would have saved myself many late nights, headaches, and a lot of stress.
Yeah, and for me, I think that the challenge I hear new freelancers have most often is in terms of signing their first clients. And I actually started signing clients quite shortly after deciding to become a freelancer. So I'm happy with the approach I took. For this reason, I often recommend the same approach to new freelancers who are just getting started. In short, I think it's really important to know two things very well. Number one, what's the ideal scenario? How do you hope to work and earn as a freelancer in the future? And number two, what can you do now that you know for sure you can manage, which will ultimately bring you closer to that ideal situation? And case in point, I knew I wanted to be a digital marketer working on higher level types of projects like automation, ad management, marketing project management, and so on. But I had no experience with any of that. So what I did have was a good understanding of social media and perfect written and spoken English. So I started with entry-level social media management projects. They were very easy for me to do, so it was fairly easy to convince clients to win them over with those types of projects. Then I gradually started doing more and more of those more interesting tasks with existing clients, then even more so with new clients and so on.
So as for me, I would have told myself to learn your worth in terms of your rate. A lot of times, new freelancers will try to match their corporate earnings with their freelancing rates. And it's very likely that they undersell themselves. So it was my mistake too as a new freelancer. And I was already 2 years into freelancing when I realized I had to factor in a lot of my freelancing costs. It was only after I've seen how other freelancers rated themselves that I realized that, hey, I can command the same rates. So if I knew how to market myself and if I knew how to compute my rate from the get-go. So it's something that has to be learned early in your freelancing career. Otherwise, it will be difficult to raise your rates in the future.
And the last question from my side today. Where do you see the room for growth for Top Rated and Top Rated Plus to retain their status and to grow their business?
For me, it's upskilling and maybe expanding their business by setting up an Upwork agency. So upskilling is very straightforward. If you want to be relevant in the market or at least stay competitive among freelancers in your category, upskilling is the way to go. But if the goal is to expand your individual freelancing business, get more projects, increase your income stream, then getting other freelancers to work with you in your small business or your agency is a good alternative.
I have to agree there. Upskilling for sure. Finding complementary ways to improve their client offerings or improve the relationship between client and freelancer. This could mean offering a new service or becoming an indispensable resource to your client.
Yeah, and I agree with both Avery and Neil. I think that frequent upskilling is now more important than ever. Changes happen far more rapidly now than they did decades ago. The lifetime of technologies and skills is shrinking. So it's really important that we learn new skills regularly and adapt to changing environments.
Wonderful. We are finishing on one note. Upskilling entails learning the new skill, but it also involves a cultural shift and change management. So to be competitive in this digital age, it is important to set yourself up for a learning for life mindset. Thank you, team. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Dear attendees, if you are interested in exploring Upwork events and webinars, please visit upwork.com/community/events. Thank you.